As it relates to email, one of the questions we get a lot from people is, can I just use my Gmail account? And I want to start before I tell you the answer to that question. I want to make sure you understand the reasons that at Social Connector, we recommend you have a professional domain and a professional email address associated with that domain. For the primary reason is actually the word I've said twice, professional. When you're building a business you want people to trust, it is super valuable, extremely valuable to have a professional approach to that, meaning a true domain. Rather than sending you information from socialconnector@gmail.com, we send information from socialconnector.com because that's our business. And when you're running a business, you want it to be professional. Second reason that we don't recommend people use a free email address like from Gmail would be deliverability. When you're sending out emails, utilizing a free email address, there's what we call sending domains, and it's very technical, but what it all really means is that Gmail and Yahoo have decided, and I explained this quite a bit, but I want to explain it again. Gmail and Yahoo have decided that in order to prevent scams, phishing scams, and other types of email-based scams, they do not want to receive emails that come from free or unverified email addresses. And so it does impact your deliverability if you natively try to send an email from Social Connector or any platform, Mailchimp, Aweber, any of them, utilizing your Gmail as the from address, because the way the system will do it is it's actually going to give a different reply to address. And so that causes your deliverability to be down. So first, professionalism. And I think that's actually the most valid reason. Second is deliverability, which I know many people are concerned about. Why are my emails showing up in junk? Why are people not receiving my emails? So those are the two reasons that we don't recommend you use it. Now, I'm taking a long time to explain this because I really want you to understand what is involved if you want to take the steps and you'd prefer to do email the way I'm about to show you. So the answer to the question is can I send emails via my Gmail account? The answer to the question is technically yes, you can. However, before I show you how, please remember, and again, I'm doing this because it's really important that you understand that this is a step you're taking, and it's a choice you're making based on these limitations and restrictions. If you set up your Gmail account to work, it will send emails. It'll come to you. It'll actually show up in your Gmail when they reply. It will do all of that. However, if you're using a free Gmail address, meaning your name at gmail.com or info or socialconnector@gmail.com, if that were mine, if it was free, I'm limited to sending no more than 500 emails from the system every single 24-hour period, every day. Gmail puts that restriction on you. Social Connector does not. We don't limit you, but Gmail does. If you're using a professional email address through Gmail and you don't want to connect a domain and you just want to set it up through your Google Workspace because you have a professional account that you're paying for from Google, you are limited to 2,000 emails a day. That again is a restriction that Gmail gives. So using @gmail.com, 500 messages a day. Using your domain that you bought through Google but want to just connect through Google Workspace, you're limited to 2,000 emails a day if you want to use Google as the server, which I'm going to show you. So that's your first thing you need to know is there is a limitation. Second thing you need to know is it could affect your deliverability down the road as opposed to having a professional email address. So it is a solution if you're brand new starting out and you just want to get started this way and you don't want to get that professional email, we can show you how to do that. And we're going to show you that right now. And I apologize for taking this much time on a training to talk about this, but I think it's extremely important. And so I wanted you to hear that before I actually take you into the training and show you how. So if you want to connect your Gmail, here we go. Let me show you how to do it. To make Gmail your primary sending email service, there's 3 different steps you're going to need to take. The first step is to set up what we call email two-way sync. While this is optional, I highly recommend it if you're going to be using Gmail as your provider. So you're going to go into your settings and you're going to click on My Profile. Once you're in My Profile, you're going to go to where you see Email Two-Way Sync. Then you're going to select Gmail and then you're going to click Connect. It's immediately going to open up and you're going to need to choose the Gmail account that you're going to be connecting. I'm going to be using the mock account that we created for Social Connector. Click Continue. And then I'm going to say, yes, I'm going to continue. You can give all the access, and then you'll see here that it's now connected. What this is doing is it's allowing for emails that come into your Gmail as well as go out of your Social Connector to sync up both between Gmail and inside of Social Connector. This does not immediately happen, and we're going to show you in the final step, how you're going to go about making those connections take place so that you actually activate your two-way sync. Now, from here, we are going to have to take some pretty big steps. So take your time and follow along with me. Next, we're going to go into our email services. If you've done any of our other trainings, you understand that you set up a default dedicated domain that is related to your business if you were doing a branded domain. If you're going to use Gmail, you are not going to use the Lead Connector email service. In fact, we're going to change your email sending service or your SMTP services altogether. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to click Add a Service. Now you'll notice that there are 4 different types of services that we can add: Gmail, Yahoo, SendGrid, or other. We are only training on how to do Gmail. So we're going to select Gmail. And then you're going to be tempted right away to put in your password. But this is not the password you're thinking. We have to create an app password in Gmail. This is something similar to what we do when you're connecting an iCloud calendar. You need an app-specific password. This will be the email address you're using, but the password will be specific to this app. So now we're going to show you how to do that. You can read about it by clicking on how to create an app password. We're going to go ahead and show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to show you the way that many people do it. We're going to open up a new tab. And from here, I'm actually going to type in app password for Gmail. And then you'll see right here how to setting up with app password. So I'm going to select that and you'll see that, excuse me. I'm going to click in from Google Help, sign in with app passwords. Here we'll give you all the understandings of what you need in order to have that special password. Specifically, you have to turn on two-step verification. You'll also see a link that says to create and manage your app passwords. So you're going to click that. We're going to give you that link as well, but we're going to click that and it's going to open up. And what you want to make sure is that you're logged into the correct Google account that you're using. So I'm going to actually switch into our Social Connector Google account. And we'll see here that I have no app passwords created and I'm going to create a new one. And I don't mind you seeing this because this is just an example. So we're going to create the Social Connector email. We're just going to call it Social Connector email. This is a label for us. I'm going to click the create button and then immediately it's going to create this password. Now, make sure you read everything here, but we're going to just highlight this and copy it. I'm going to leave this open because once you hit done, you will not see it again and it's gone. So I'm going to leave this open after I copy it. I'm going to jump back into Social Connector. I'm going to put in my password, which is socialconnectorai@gmail.com, which is the email address we created for this. And I'm going to click password and I'm going to paste that long password that we were just given in order for this to work. I'm going to click save. And immediately you will see that we now have 2 email providers. The next step here is that you have to tell the system you want to use Gmail as your SMTP service. Also, that you want to leave on enable reply tracking. So what has happened for us here? We've now got two-way sync ready to work, and we're using Gmail as our provider. So now I'm going to come in, I'm going to go back into my regular account. I'm going to go to contacts. And just as an example here, I'm going to use a new email address. I'm going to click New Contact. I'm going to add Lindsay Nix, and I'm going to add her email because I've been given permission to use this one. And now we've got her email in there. We're going to hit save. And it's going to immediately open up to our email area here. And I'm going to send her an email. Notice that because I have two-way sync on, immediately I have this Gmail address that we created as our two-way sync has now been set as the from email. I'm going to send her an email. Hey, Lindsay. And it's going to say something like, hey, Lindsay, did you get this email? And I'm going to click send. Just like that, the email's been sent. And now we're going to look and see if the email is delivered. You may not always see that the email actually shows as delivered. You might only see it as sent. You can look at information here. So when you're first doing this, because again, this is a secondary method, you're going to want to send to yourself and so that you can check. The email may go to junk mail if it's a brand new Gmail address. If you've been using it for a while, it likely will not. But if it's brand new, it may go to junk and you'll want to drag it and you'll want to send it. Now, I'm going to show you in my actual Gmail that we've created. We're going to see what happens when that email gets replied to. Because I sent this to myself and I've opened up Lindsay's email, the email has gone through. It did go into the junk mail. We've moved it into the inbox and now we're going to reply to it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up our Gmail in our Gmail account that we've created. We're going to look at Lindsay replying. And you can see right here, Lindsay did reply to me. You get this? She replied back, yes, I got it. Thank you so much. And because this is coming from multiple email addresses, it does look a little confusing, but this actually came from Lindsay. Additionally, you'll see that it actually synced inside of Social Connector from Lindsay Nix. Yes, I got it. Thank you so much. So you'll now see it syncing both ways. Again, remember some of your limitations. One of those limitations is that you can only send 500 emails per day through the system. You could send them secondarily through here. You could do your replies through here, but you could only send 500 emails per day through the system when using Gmail this way. So if your list is larger, this system probably will not work for you for sending out emails, but this will work if you're building up that list and you want to just use Gmail. You can do this way up to 500 emails per day. Let me show you one last thing and we're just going to reply and we're going to see what happens. So I've just created a message here. It says, awesome. Thank you so much for replying. We're going to send it. Now, if our two-way sync is activated, and it may not be, but if it's activated, we should see this not only inside of this area of Gmail, we should also see it inside of Social Connector. So I'm going to refresh our conversations here. I'm going to click on all. And you'll notice right here that we actually sent Lindsay a message. It's synced right inside of Social Connector, even though we sent it from Gmail, and it says, awesome, thank you so much for replying. So it's all synced. And as a side note, this message does not count against the 500 messages per day because you're actually using Gmail to send the message. So that's how you go about doing it. I want to give you some final tips. First final tip is, in order for you to activate two-way sync, you must create a new contact and send your first message. That will start the process of activating two-way sync. Additionally, if you want to make sure that your messages that are already with existing email addresses in your system are getting sent that, make sure you include this blind copy here so that it will automatically add them into your Social Connector account for those who are already existing. This will ensure that they also get inside the Social Connector when they reply. And that's how you go about adding your two-way sync, adding your Gmail connection, activating it all, and using Gmail as your primary